a yacht girl. That's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened, but I am saying...
Before she became the Duchess of Drama everyone can't stop whispering about, Meghan Markle was just another ambitious actress chasing her big break. But unlike others hustling for auditions in Hollywood, Meghan's golden ticket didn't come from a casting director, it came from her connections. Picture this: endless rejection letters, glamorous parties she somehow always got invited to, and her charming smile lighting up every elite guest list. But here's where it gets scandalous. While everyone else was chasing red carpets in Los Angeles, Meghan found hers floating in the Mediterranean. That's right. Forget movie premieres, her Hollywood moment was spent on sparkling blue waves, surrounded by billionaires, sipping vintage champagne under the sun.
There's absolutely zero doubt in my mind. Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she...
Yes, darling. While other actresses were struggling to get bit parts, Meghan was building connections that would one day make headlines. She wasn't waiting for fame, she was networking her way into it. Those luxury decks, where laughter and secrets dance together, were where she learned that power doesn't just live in palaces, it sails in private yachts. And oh, how those memories have come back to haunt her. Because now, those ghosts from her glittering yacht days have resurfaced, and they're dragging her royal reputation through the roughest waters imaginable.
Many of you have seen this picture already. You see that there's Meghan with her cajuna hat.
When Sarah Ferguson, yes, Fergie herself, casually dropped a royal-sized bomb, she didn't just spill tea, she shattered teacups across Buckingham Palace. She hinted, ever so slyly, that Meghan might have been Andrew's first client. The silence that followed, deafening. It was like someone had detonated a scandal inside the palace walls. Gasps, panic, and jaws hitting the floor faster than the monarchy's approval ratings. This wasn't some careless jab, it was an explosion that lit up every dark corner of royal gossip. Suddenly, Meghan's glamorous past wasn't just glitter and charm, it was being linked to Prince Andrew's scandal-soaked circle. And poor Prince Harry?
Markle did know Prince Andrew, and she knew Sarah incredibly well, which makes Zara a liar, because she said, I didn't know Meghan Markle until she invited me to her wedding.
The rebel prince who gave up everything, the titles, the crown, the country for love, now realizing that his happily ever after might have sailed through murkier waters than he ever imagined. So grab your teacup, because tonight's brew is scalding hot. This isn't gossip, it's royal grade chaos. And when the truth finally docks, not everyone's crown will survive the tide. Inside the palace, silence didn't last. Within hours, whispers turned into front-page storms. Fergie drops bombshell about Meghan's past, screamed the tabloids.
I wonder if Prince Andrew's going to come out and say, hey, Harry, I did your wife quite a few times on yachts before you...
But according to insiders, Fergie's comment wasn't some accidental slip. Oh no, she knew exactly what she was doing. That remark about Meghan being Andrew's first client, it wasn't a blunder, it was a spark, deliberately thrown into the royal powder keg. Behind those polished palace walls, panic spread like wildfire. Senior aides were reportedly calling late-night emergency meetings, terrified that another Andrew-level disaster was about to erupt. Because this time, the name tangled in the scandal wasn't an aging duke, it was Meghan Markle, the very woman who once promised to modernize the monarchy, but ended up dividing it instead. Sources close to the royals describe disbelief. Pure, stunned disbelief. Not just at Fergie's nerve, but at what her words might really imply.
You're going to be shocked to find out who is Fergie's target and what she's willing to disclose and how far she will go just to get revenge.
Could Meghan's old yacht networking days, the glitzy summers surrounded by secretive billionaires and power players, really have overlapped with Andrew's notorious circle? The thought alone sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace. And the most terrifying part, this didn't come from the tabloids. It came from within the royal family itself. As one insider whispered, when someone like Fergie speaks, she's not gossiping, she's sending a message. So now the palace faces an impossible choice: defend Meghan and risk reopening Andrew's wounds, or stay silent and let the rumors grow legs. But behind that polished silence, something darker is stirring. Because this isn't just about what Fergie said, it's about why she said it. And her timing? Oh, it's no accident. According to palace insiders, Fergie's timing was strategic. Ever since Harry and Meghan's explosive royal exit, the monarchy has been recalibrating, and Fergie, ever the survivor, saw her chance to re-enter the spotlight. After years of being humiliated, shunned, and written off by the institution she once called family, she was done being silent. Meghan's meteoric rise reignited that old Fergie fire: jealousy, rivalry, and the hunger for relevance. She's reclaiming her power, one former royal aide reveals.
Fergie has nothing to lose. Fergie wants to scorch the earth with the royal family now that she's no longer able to use the title. That is a cautionary tale for Harry, the idiot, who doesn't understand that he's married to the enemy. He's sleeping with.
And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't revenge, it was retaliation. Fergie's watched Meghan dominate headlines, charm Hollywood, and manipulate media narratives with surgical precision. Some even say Meghan stole her playbook, the outsider-turned-royal storyline that Fergie once lived. And now, by dragging Meghan's name into Andrew's murky orbit, Fergie wasn't just gossiping, she was leveling the playing field. But hold on, there's another darker theory. Some believe this wasn't about rivalry at all, it was strategy. By tethering Meghan's name to Andrew's scandal, Fergie may have been redirecting attention away from herself and her ex-husband. A royal diversion tactic sacrificed one image to save another. Whatever her motive, it worked. Almost overnight, the headline shifted. Meghan's PR team went into overdrive, scrambling to contain the damage while Fergie simply sat back. Watching the chaos, she'd sparked a ripple through the monarchy. The question on everyone's lips, was this personal payback or a palace power play? And then came the breaking point. When the story hit its peak, Prince Harry was reportedly devastated. Sources close to Montecito described him as stunned into silence when the Yacht past allegations resurfaced. This wasn't just about gossip, it was about betrayal. How could something from Meghan's past, twisted out of proportion, become royal ammunition? Friends say his initial reaction wasn't anger, it was heartbreak. But once the reality sank in, that heartbreak turned to fury. Behind Montecito's closed doors, tension filled the air.
Meghan thinks that she's above them. So now that Fergie's down, now she doesn't want to have anything to do with Fergie. But you don't do that with people who knows your secrets, people who know your skanky past. And Fergie's ready to tell on Meghan Markle. She's ready to destroy her. She's ready to.
Meghan, usually calm and collected, was said to be pacing furiously, calling the story a calculated assassination of her character. Harry, meanwhile, was demanding answers. Who's behind this? He reportedly snapped, his patience gone. Across the Atlantic, Buckingham Palace stayed silent, official spokespeople declining to comment, senior courtiers holding hushed meetings. But inside those walls, whispers were getting louder, not about Fergie's words, but Harry's reaction. As one insider bluntly put it, Harry's not just angry at Fergie, he's angry at everyone's silence. That silence, that carefully maintained royal quiet, was what hurt the most. For years, Harry believed leaving the palace meant freedom, but now he realized that even oceans away, the monarchy could still reach him, still twist the knife. Meghan reportedly begged him to stay calm, to rise above it. Focus on us, she urged. Focus on our brand, our family. But it was too late, the damage was done, because this wasn't tabloid fluff. This was deeply personal. Harry, the man who once walked away from the crown for love, was watching that same love dragged into the mud by the very people he tried to escape. And now, one question haunted him day and night. Was this fallout an accident, or was it engineered from within? Because make no mistake, this wasn't just another royal feud. This is a mirror reflecting everything broken in the monarchy. The Meghan-Andrew connection wasn't just a headline, it was a warning. A reminder that in the royal world, the past doesn't disappear, it just waits for the perfect moment to resurface. And this time, it resurfaced with perfect, devastating precision. The palace has always survived by controlling the story, but this time, the narrative slipped right through their perfectly manicured fingers and landed squarely in the court of public opinion. For Meghan, the irony couldn't be crueler. The very charm that once opened gilded doors is now being painted as manipulation. What used to be her strength, grace, ambition, the ability to win over anyone in a room is suddenly the weapon used against her. Every humanitarian campaign, every glossy brand deal now trembles under the weight of whispers from a past she thought she'd buried. Her story of compassion and progress has been rewritten by palace politics into a cautionary tale of too much ambition. And as the headlines swirl, one woman watches quietly from the shadows, Sarah Ferguson. Because with a single sentence, Fergie proved once again that in the royal arena, power doesn't come from titles, it comes from timing. She's reminded the world that she still knows how to shake those palace walls with nothing more than a smirk and a well-placed remark. But beneath the noise, this whole saga isn't really about one comment or one feud. It's about control. Control over legacy, over image, over who gets to survive the scandal and who becomes its casualty. Hey, every crown has cracks, and this one is starting to show. Behind closed doors in Montecito, the atmosphere is icy. Friends whisper that the once glowing Sussex brand feels dimmed, flickering under the glare of public doubt. Meghan, ever the strategist, is said to be quietly recalibrating, stepping back from public appearances, redirecting her energy into safe humanitarian causes, and polishing her next move with a designer's precision. It's not retreat, it's reputation rehab, the Meghan way. Harry, though, he's restless, torn. The man who once defied the palace to protect his wife now finds himself fighting ghosts he can't see. He spends long nights replaying every conversation, every headline, wondering how much of this is orchestrated and by whom. Harry, they say, spends more time alone, restless, angry, torn between defending Meghan and confronting the painful truth that royal politics still haunt him, even thousands of miles away. The freedom he fought for is beginning to look like another gilded cage. She brought Jeffrey Epstein into that idiot, formerly known as Prince Andrew, into the royal family. These two women, Sarah Ferguson and Meghan Markle, are holding the entire royal family hostage. Those were just a few of the shocking soundbites flooding the airwaves, fueling an inferno that neither Buckingham nor Montecito could extinguish. Inside the palace, the silence is deafening, but make no mistake, it's the kind of silence that screams. Senior aides refuse to address Fergie's remarks publicly. Behind heavy oak doors, the king's advisors debate how much truth can safely be buried without unleashing something far worse. And somewhere out there, the unseen architects of this chaos are smiling. Their objectives met, their fingerprints erased. The monarchy may survive this round, but it bleeds a little more with every scandal. For the royals, it's reputation versus survival. For the Sussexes, love versus legacy. And for the rest of us, it's a front row seat to the most unpredictable royal drama of the decade. Yet one question lingers in the air like thunder before a storm. What secret truth was so dangerous it was worth igniting this fire? And who will be brave or foolish enough to reveal it next? Fergie's offhand remark has cracked open vaults the palace swore were sealed forever. Every corridor now echoes with whispers louder than the crown itself. But this isn't her first rodeo in royal chaos, because long before Meghan's yacht days became tabloid fodder, Fergie had already written the manual on scandal. Private jets, $1,200 a plate, dinners, wardrobes worth fortunes she didn't have. She lived like royalty on a commoner's budget and nearly lost everything for it. When the debts mounted and the invitations dried up, Fergie became a walking cautionary tale. So, is it any wonder she'd rather drag someone else down than be the headline herself again? That's the untold side of this saga. The Duchess of York playing her oldest game, distraction by destruction, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, caught right in the crossfire. From Montecito's sunshine to Buckingham's marble halls, everyone's pretending calm. But make no mistake, the storm hasn't passed, it's just circling. Because in the royal world, every gesture hides a motive, and every headline conceals a strategy. What looks like chaos is often choreography. Ooh, so while the palace maintains its polished silence and the Sussexes cling to each other under the Californian sky, the unseen hands behind the curtain are already plotting their next move. And when that move hits, it'll make this yacht scandal look like a tea party. So, before you close the tab on this royal soap opera, don't forget there's always more beneath the surface. If you thought Meghan's yacht days and Fergie's revenge were shocking, wait until you see the financial skeletons still rattling in the Duchess of York's closet. Because as we revealed in our previous expose, Fergie's outrageous spending exposed, royal feasts, private jets, and $4.2 million in debt, her life reads more like a billionaire's wish list gone rogue than a duchess's diary. It's jaw-dropping proof that in the monarchy, money might buy style, but never silence. So grab your popcorn, keep your notifications on, and stay tuned, because in the royal world, every smile hides a secret, and every secret has a price. You're watching Royal Spotlight, where power meets scandal and no crown is ever safe.